Starting off with a new piece of kit today, taking a bit of a gamble on this piece. One issue I have with landmine attachments and track bar is that I think the grip is really good on the track bar. You can't really do anything with it overhead. And it becomes a big effort, a big mess if you want to do anything with a racket eye. So I bought one of these. It's a landmine attachment with rotated handles. I'm going to see how it goes. Never used it. It's going to be a first time use, so I'm going to give it a bit of a review. This is from Yes for All, which I've used some of their stuff in the past, despite their terrible name. They come out with some odd stuff that seems to be durable, seems to be sturdy. This seems to be reasonably well built. My reservations would be how long this lasts if you get any kind of real load. Other issues might be the length of this and the amount of weight you can get on with it. But let's see, give it a go. First off, set up this to screw onto the bar. So if you value your bars, you probably want to use an old bar for this. Let's see. Tighten it up. It's alright, doesn't move, pretty solid. And I thought for some reason the weight was going to be in danger of being in my face, but it's not, it's miles away. Right, let's give it a little pick up. The initial thoughts, it feels alright. The question is, how does it respond when you start putting the weight on there? The reason I got this is because I like to do landmine clean and presses, but I like to do normal cleans when I don't have the shoulder mobility or the wrist ability to get the same kind of angles, and I prefer a neutral grip for an overhead press. So this ticks all the boxes and it makes it easier, I think, to get into the overhead position. So let's see, I'll do a bit of a clean press and see how it feels. Pleased with the feel. Because of my limited overhead range, something I've always had, that's the limit for me. Overhead pressing has always been an issue, but I can still get the benefits if I lean into the movement, and because of the way this is, it allows me to push forwards as opposed to having to lean back into the movement. It takes pressure off my lower back. Feels a little bit bouncy, a little bit wobbly. Let's take a bit of extra weight on and we'll work up to 3 sets of 6. Let's see how it goes. That's one of the nicest feeling cleans and presses I've done for a long time. No stress on the shoulder, no stress on the lower back. Pretty good, I'm pleased. One of my concerns with this piece of kit is that my knees would be too close to the bar, but as you can see from the movement, they're nowhere near, plenty of space. Let me carry on. Next question is how many plates can you get on there? I'll put an extra one on. And I think I can get one more plate on there, so they're all 10s, so that'll be 50 kilos on there. Not a huge amount, but it might be enough. And you can move further down the bar because you have maybe 2 inches before where the screw is. I wouldn't want to go much further than maybe an extra 2 plates, just because obviously it's going to become more unstable. Let's see. I'll try and do one more set with another 10 on. See how it feels, going beyond the end point of the bar. But you notice when you do cleans like this, you don't have the hips, you can't get that bounce to help you with the momentum. It's all coming from the floor to the shoulders. What I will say is that because of the forward angle, the push press changes. I've got to it more onto the toes and drive forward. Maybe not great for the knees if I'm going particularly heavy. I could try and stand back a little bit, let's see. I think the taller you are, the easier it will get in terms of the angle for the overhead press. The other difference on this with the clean is that because you don't have the bar resting on your shoulders, when you do your dip, the load goes to your arms, to your elbows. So you have to have a little more shoulder strength, a little more shoulder stability potentially. It could be difficult if you don't have that and you want to move up heavier on the weight. Right, let's see, this is 6 plates. Not this far over the danger zone. Just as stable as the others. And obviously with this, with a range of different movements you can do. The issue will be weight, so it won't be heavy enough. For example, stand. Doesn't switch the legs. You can't row backwards. But you can row forwards, but it's a different angle. So it's got variations with this. Essentially you can have push-ups, but that's going to be very secure. All kinds of different movements. Basically, I see this as a good bridge if you find it difficult doing cleans. So you have to get it into the press position without using the hips too much, without using your shoulders too much. But the big question is, do I feel confident putting this on the gym floor and it being abused, manhandled by about 150 trainers? That would be the big test. Whew. So the question is, why would I need something like this? Well, power exercises obviously require, well, the king of the power exercises, they say, is the clean. And what does the clean give you? It gives you triple extension. Extension of the ankle, knee, and the hips. What the clean also gives you is a whole load of stress on the shoulders and the wrists. And the idea is, that I've said for a long time, that if you don't have the technical ability or haven't been doing cleans and snatches and all this kind of stuff for a long time, it's a very difficult skill to acquire. And it takes away from other areas. So my policy is, I'm going to bypass that. On this, I've still got the triple extension, but I've taken away all the steps to give the complications, the tricky catch at the top, the wrist issues, the extra length of time it takes to warm up, to do all that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, I think this is just more practical, because at the end of the day, I'm going to be grabbing something probably from this position, taking it up to this position. I won't be grabbing it over, catching it on the fingertips, resting it on the chest. So I think it's a great way of limited weight, although the weight is, and you can get some of the variations more traditional where the weight goes at the side. A great teaching tool, and also people who are massively strong to be able to move up. I use 60 kilos on this. If I was using steel 20s, it would get seriously heavy. And then a question of durability of the piece. Let's see in a few weeks.